Welcome back to Grilling with Grove. My name is Austin, and today what I got going for you is a couple of brisket steaks. I've actually already completed this cook, so stick around and I'll show you how I did it. Here's the brisket cut up in the steaks, and I did these about 2 finger lengths across. The first cut I made was not so great. I'll put that in the blooper video at the end. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put some lime juice on it. That's going to help to break down this tough brisket, and we're going to put some salt on it, and that'll help retain the moisture. We're going to do that dry brining process for about 5 hours, and then we'll get back to you when we're ready to grill. Here's the smoker that we're going to be using today. This is a new addition to my family. I got this for $150 off one of the guys that was leaving here. It's called the Smoke Canyon, and it's a water propane smoker. We'll see the inside in a minute, but for right now, let's pan over to the steaks. And there's what the steaks look like. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some olive oil and some It's Incredible from Heaven Made Products on them, and we're going to smoke these steaks in this smoker until they hit about 110 degrees or so, and then we're going to go over to our Weber kettle and we're going to fire that up and sear them off. So let's get to cooking. So the steaks are at about 90 degrees, and we flipped them, and now we're lighting this charcoal, and once the steaks hit 110, we're going to take them off and start the sear process. I know a lot of people that do the sear process at 120, but I like to do it at 110 so we can get a little bit more of a sear. We'll get back to you when we're on the Weber. Our steaks are on the cold side of the grill, and what you see the flames there is the wood chips that I've added. And basically what I did was I warmed the grill up without the grate on it, because we're going to try and use a cold grate and have the coals sear the steak. So we're going to go about 1 minute per side. This technique was developed by David Parrish from Adrenaline Barbecue Company, and he has a special grate for this technique, and I'll put a link to his channel in the description below in the iCard above so that you can go and check it out. But I'm going to put on some gloves and just replicate this technique on my kettle. You've seen me do it a couple times before on the channel. So let me explain this technique a little bit. So with the steaks on a cold part of the grill, the coals actually sear the steaks versus the grate themselves. As you can see in the video there, the flames are touching the steak, and this just allows to get the crust that we desire on the steak. Now I did 1 minute per side, and for a total of 4 minutes on these steaks, and it came out pretty good, 135 and 140. And you'll see in the closing shots, even though we kind of jumped up on our temperature a little bit, we still have some nice redness on the steaks. So let's get to that taste test and finish up this cold grate technique. Here's a look at this steak. This one rested up to 135 and the other one rested up to 140. So we sacrificed a little bit on our medium rare temperatures for crust on the steak. So the crust on this one looks pretty good to me. This one could use some work, but that's okay. Let's get to that taste test and see if the lime juice did what we thought it was going to do. Before we get in the taste test, I wanted to show you the side view. On the left is the 140 and on the right is the 135. So actually the redness of these steaks is a little bit better than I would expect for those temperatures. So I'm excited to get to this taste test. Through the magic of time, we're back and we've got those brisket steaks right in front of us. So let's take a look at how we did. So this is the steak that rested up to 130. So let's get a little taste. Now I have to warn you, when I did cut into it, it did seem a little bit tough. So let's take a bite here and see what the tenderness is like. So it's no filet mignon, but it is a decent tender steak. That lime juice did a better job than I probably thought it was going to do. You don't really taste the lime juice either. This does kind of remind me though a lot of fajita meat. So if you wanted to do like steak tacos or fajita tacos, this would definitely be a good combination. That It's Incredible on the steak definitely brings out a beefy flavor of that brisket. So I'm definitely satisfied with this cook. I wouldn't serve this as a regular steak though, but if you were doing like tacos, this would definitely be a really good way to cook the brisket. All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. If you liked what I did today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications and you won't miss another one. We're back and we've got that brisket laid out in front of us, and it's mostly frozen, so it should be easy to work with. I'm going to try and cut a few steaks out of it, see what we can get. Okay, so that is not a bad piece there. Probably needs some trimming. It's a little thin right here. But let's go one more. Perfect. I actually like the look of this one better. So, but both of these will do. So I'm going to trim these up and then we'll get back to what we're going to do the rest of this.